the plane headaches this guy's had to deal with to get here for us. So thank you. So.
Good morning, how is everyone? My name's Jeff Felico. I'm the marketing manager at beautiful Six Flags Fiesta, Texas in San Antonio, Texas. This is my first time at Carowinds. I have a very bad habit of seeing parks more when they're closed than when they're open. So I really need to find a way to start to work on fixing that. But to start off, huge thank you to the team here at Carowinds. The hospitality has been unbelievable up to this point, and big shout out to AV guru Michael for working through our tech challenges. So big round of applause for our host today. One other shout out to Michael, who is just up here. Did everyone notice his Rides, Ride shirt? What movie is that from? Adventureland, filmed at what little park? Kennywood, which is a very special place in my heart. That's where I actually started in the industry, at Kennywood for a number of years before going to Fiesta, Texas. So it's great to come to events like this, see a few familiar faces, but this is my first winter warm-up. So there are quite a few folks here that I've never met before, so I definitely look forward at some point today, if you have any questions or just want to chat, I look forward to spending some time and meeting all of you and hopefully returning for years to come if Josh will have me back. We'll just see how this goes and then we'll take it from there. All right, so in order to look forward, we're going to take a quick step backwards. There we go. We're going to look at Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster. So this world's first of its kind coaster was our new addition in 2018, and I think our guests were pleasantly surprised by the amount of airtime, the G-force, and just the overall experience. Which way am I going here, Michael? There we go. All right. We're going to go through a quick video so you can see what the experience actually looked like. Maybe. Dun, dun, dun. So, if you've never been to Fiesta, Texas, we sit in an old limestone quarry. So we're surrounded by these majestic quarry walls that at its highest point are 90, 95, 100 feet tall. So it really sets the perfect vista for a coaster like this. You'll see here in a moment the way it sits above the water that was our Power Surge splash ride. So we really focused on the storytelling for Wonder Woman as well. So as soon as you enter that queue line, you're going through the experience of who Wonder Woman is, what she stands for. Before actually getting on the ride, you're going through these giant Corinthian columns that are actually made out of stone, limestone from a neighboring quarry. So the attention to detail is astonishing. Are we able to hit play, Michael? Oh, what's that? Dun, dun, dun. Here we go, all right. So the setting is just beautiful to begin with. And then gliding over that water, I'll step back so I'm not blocking you the entire time. So it is a single rail coaster. You are sitting single file. We have 3 trains and a continuous load station, which 3 trains and that station were definitely a necessity for this particular coaster to keep the capacity where we wanted it. But it is non-stop excitement. From start to finish, it does not slow down. It does not stop. It is power, G-force, airtime. It is everything you want in a great coaster. No, and this is not sped up, and it's funny because when we initially released the videos during testing, everyone said we kept speeding up the video, and it was just the video. That drop's awesome. 90 degrees straight down drop. But the setting for the coaster itself is also very cool. It adds another dimension to the ride experience as well. The water's a beautiful shade of toilet bowl blue. So there's a nice shot coming off the quarry wall, so you can see how the park kind of sits down below inside the quarry. Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster. Raise your hand if you have never been to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Oh, that is unacceptable, team. I need 4 volunteers. Can I have 4 people to help me? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you guys come over here for me? All right, I've got a stack of envelopes and then a stack of these graphics. Can 2 of you take the envelopes and make sure everyone gets one, and the other 2 just take the graphics and make sure everyone gets one of those? and just pass them out to the group. When you get that white envelope, don't open it yet until you're prompted to, okay? Everyone got that? I need one more volunteer. This is a very important job. All right, right there. You can stay where you are. You have one job. Before I finish, I will forget to tell you to open that envelope. So you have to remind me to tell you to open the envelope. I do that every presentation. I always tell you to wait, and then I'm done and I forget. So you have to remind me to tell you to open that envelope and see what's inside. So a couple more great shots of what Wonder Woman looks like sitting over that water. Let's jump to 2019 because we have so much to talk about. It is ridiculous. Our season has already begun, believe it or not, and we are not slowing down right from the get-go. We've already opened our very first ride this year, Pirates of the Deep Sea. Arr. There we go. So, Pirates of the Deep Sea is an interactive dark ride. It's a brand new venture for us, and it was all made in-house with the Six Flags Entertainment team and a local company called Magic in the Sky. So this is definitely not an off-the-shelf ride by any means. It's completely custom to the space and to our theme, but one of the things that makes this ride truly unique is the experience starts before you even get to the ride. The queue line. This is the queue line you're looking at. So you're not even at the ride at this point. You're still walking towards the loading station, going through this majestic seaside village, getting ready to hunt the pirates and try to defeat them in battle, but you're walking through this little town. There is... No, maybe I don't. There is the skull that it actually spills water, so it's a water feature in the queue line. But the nice thing is it's set up so that the entire queue line where you're waiting as a guest is actually outside the ride. So once you enter the ride, you're walking through the seaside village and getting immediately on your vessel to battle the pirates. So it really sets the theme for the story before you even experience the ride. And then once you actually board your ship, we have a custom-made musket which you get to use to battle the pirates. So really the attention to detail is astonishing for this ride. And we have another video to show you what it actually looks like that you experience it. So there's the water feature I mentioned. So those cannons actually blast at you as you're riding through the battle scene. It's very cool.
What the plague makes you only at Six Flags?
So we actually debuted Pirates of the Deep Sea at midnight on December 31st. We had a huge New Year's Eve event. The park closed at 10 o'clock that night, and we went a step further and had a after-hours event for our Diamond and Diamond Elite members, where we closed the park with fireworks at 10. We had more fireworks to start the party at 10 for the Diamond and Diamond Elite members, and then we had more fireworks at midnight to debut the ride to everyone in attendance, as well as all the other rides on Boardwalk. So I guess the moral of the story is if we can blow it up, we'll blow it up in Texas. We love fireworks. But one of the best things is Pirates of the Deep Sea, it's now open. It's our very first ride edition of 2019, but there's more to come. We're not done yet. You can actually ride it right now. Let's see what time it is. Yeah, almost right at this very moment, because the park is actually open today. For the first time in Fiesta, Texas history, we are now year-round on the weekends through January and February, so we're truly a year-round park. Big round of applause. Woo! It's a very exciting testament to where we're going as a park and the things that we're looking to do in the future. The fact that on a day like this, when it's rainy here, if you want to come on down to sunny Texas, we'll welcome you with open arms. At least knock on wood, because I hope it's sunny in Texas today. Also today we have our 3rd annual Mardi Gras festival going on. Woo! Has anyone seen our Mardi Gras festival? Have you had the experience of Mardi Gras? Okay, so a couple of you, so you know firsthand just how cool it is. So this is our 3rd year having Mardi Gras at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. We started the first year with just daytime parades. The second year we transitioned to a few nighttime parades. And this year we switched to all nighttime parades. So let's take a look at that. Mardi Gras at Fiesta, Texas. So those amazing floats you see actually come to us from the world famous Kern Studio in New Orleans. So if you head to New Orleans for Mardi Gras in that city, the floats you see are created by Kern Studios as well. So one of the very cool things about our floats is during year parts when our event does not coincide with the event in New Orleans, these floats go back to Kern Studios and they're used throughout the city. So it would not be out of the realm of possibility to see any number of these floats or any number of these props going down St. Charles or any other of the parade routes in New Orleans for the parade, because this is as authentic as you could possibly get for a Mardi Gras experience outside of actual New Orleans. Fun fact, who knows where Mardi Gras actually started in the United States? Mobile, Alabama. And they still do an awesome Mardi Gras event, which is definitely more on the family-friendly side of the spectrum compared to New Orleans. So needless to say, we go more towards the Mobile, Alabama model of things. But this year we added a brand new float, spectacular. You're gonna see it here in a moment. It is a triple trailer, double-decker riverboat float. If we can play this video, Michael, you're gonna see it around that bend, and no joke, when this thing arrived at the park, we saw it set up, and I had serious doubts about it actually being able to fit through those midways. But they were right, it fit perfectly, and it is awesome. Guests on both levels, so this evening when this parade runs at 6 o'clock, all these floats are gonna be filled with ACE members throwing beads, making it rain on the crowd. It's gonna be awesome. And we go through thousands and thousands of bead necklaces every single parade. It's ridiculous. In New Orleans, if you're tossed beads and they land on the ground, it's bad luck to actually pick them up. Folks in San Antonio don't know that, and it's probably for the best, because when that parade is over, you don't see beads anywhere. They will go in trees, they will dive towards drainage areas, they'll do what they have to do to get every single bead they can, and it's awesome to see them walking out of the parks. You have little kids that just have hundreds of bead necklaces on and they're kind of hunched over walking out of the park, but you know they had a good time. The parade, it's definitely one of the events that our guests love, but our team members love just as much because it brings such an energy to the park. Not only do you have the parade, you have the entire Mardi Gras food village, so there's plenty of Cajun food offerings, great hurricanes, mixed cocktails, which are outstanding. I'd come for that alone. But the parade, it just adds such a different feel to the park. It's really outstanding, especially now that we're open in January and February, which more often than not will coincide with Mardi Gras, so it fits the time of year perfectly. This is going on right now. We're gonna have a parade today and then our final 2 parades next week. And then, this is only month 2 for us, and we already have our new nighttime parade for Mardi Gras, Pirates of the Deep Sea, but coming this June. Dun, dun, dun. It's much more dramatic when the clicker works. Joker, Carnival of Chaos. Ooh, so some of you may have noticed a few changes with the name recently. We went from a different version of Joker to Joker Carnival of Chaos, which I think when all is said and done, you're going to see that it fits the ride much better than the original name did. But this is the world's tallest pendulum ride at a staggering 172 feet tall. You play this video, we'll take a look. There we go. So Joker sits at 172 feet tall, and believe it or not, this will be the fastest ride in Fiesta, Texas history. It's 75 miles an hour. So how many people have ever been on a ride of this type? So you know that the seats are very particular to the ride experience. So if you're sitting in the seat that is flying through the center, it's always going to be that same ride experience in that seat. So if you are flying through the center of that ride, it's swinging at 75 miles an hour and your face is all sucked back, you're going to swing up top, get a great view of the quarry wall and the park overhead. It's going to be spectacular, especially where it's sitting right next to Superman. So it's going to create a really cool experience in that area. And again, this is another ride where you look at the footprint, you're like, is that really going to fit? Like, is that really going to fit there? But it will. You'll see that soon in early June, I promise. 40 riders at one time and a staggering 17 stories tall. So that'll actually crest the quarry wall. So it's funny, the park sits in the quarry, and on top of the quarry wall on the backside, there's a very high-end, beautiful shopping mall. So as you swing up into the sky and you're looking over the quarry wall, you get a beautiful view of Neiman Marcus in the distance. Really says San Antonio. So right now we're working on foundations, putting the foundations in. If you've ever seen a ride like this get installed, it's very cool because it literally goes from nothing to a ride standing there in about a day and a half, because of the way they have to bring in cranes and kind of assemble it all at one time, because the legs support the ride itself, just the way it stands on kind of that tripod setup. But right now we're working on the foundations. We're looking at an early June opening, which, believe it or not, it's right around the corner. It'll be here before you know it. Lots of other stuff going on around the park, though. Now that we're open year-round, there's a lot of work that we need to do, a lot of things we want to focus on, because we truly are a year-round park. And so we're getting into that mentality now to know that, hey, we need to start working on a few other things. Who doesn't like new bathrooms? It's always exciting. Yes, new bathrooms are always great. It always meets rave reviews. Let's hear a round of applause for the new bathrooms. Woo! Yes. It's one of those things that you will notice when it's not the way it should be, but then you'll appreciate when it's nice and new and clean and just more inviting. So we started with one of our restrooms in Rockville. We brought this really cool high-end, we weren't going to do just like porta-johns. We brought this actual restroom trailer in, which was very nice. I was surprised. You could just roll in a bathroom and drop it down. Could have just put walls on that and called it a day. But we went into Rockville, we're going into Sposburg next, and we're actually working our way around the park. So within the next year, you're going to have all new restrooms throughout Fiesta, Texas, which is very cool. We're also working on this building, which used to house a chain Chinese-American restaurant, which is now gone. This will be the new location for Chop 6, which I assure you will be a completely different menu, have no similarities to its predecessor whatsoever. But the great thing is we went in, completely renovated the building, brand new outdoor patio, more shaded outdoor seating, and if you've spent any time in Texas, you know that everything has to either be air conditioned or shaded. Because especially in those summer months, you will melt if you're sitting out in that heat. We're also going to our Spitzy's Candy Store, which was a great candy store for us. We can get the homemade fudge, the caramel apples, the candied apples, whatever you like. We're giving it a fresh look and calling it Coaster Candy. And it's funny because luckily I was not here last year, but I had the same slide in my presentation in rides last year because it was originally on the books then, but this year we mean it. And we definitely mean it because it's in progress. There's no turning back at this point, but we completely gutted the store. So when all is said and done, it's gonna have a fantastic brand new look with amazing candy creations going on. This, if you're ever in the park and you're looking for me, odds are I will not be far from a candy store. Candy and popcorn, those are the two things that I can't live without, and it's probably terrible that I work at an amusement park. We're also painting some water park slides. So this is one of the slides that desperately needed a new coat of paint. You can see it there in the distance how much that blue pops. So we're working our way through the water park. We painted 3 slides last year. We're going in and putting the gel coat on a few more this year. So as time goes on, every slide in the water park is going to get a fresh gel coat with these big, vibrant colors. So as soon as you enter the park, in our parking lot, you see the water park on the right and the rest of the park off to the left, and the water park is really going to pop. You're not going to be able to miss it at all. New flooring everywhere too. This is Johnny Rockets on the right, and then our new Pirates-themed gift shop on the left. So again, we went into those 2 buildings, we completely renovated them, put down brand new flooring, new offerings everywhere. So it's really the attention to detail is what we're focusing on this year. So not only do we bring Mardi Gras back again, we already opened our new ride for this year. We're opening another new ride for June, and then we're going back, redoing bathrooms, putting in new floors, redoing buildings. It's exhausting, but we are not slowing down. That's the most exciting thing for Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Onward and upward for us. And it's really about the attention to detail. So here you see the entrance to the Iron Rattler. You notice the Rattler sitting there, beautiful water feature right at the right entrance. We actually took them down to do a little rehab work. So we're making those brand new again, and we're gonna bring those back as well, complete with the water feature and everything. So it really is, again, that attention to detail that is making a huge difference. Additionally at the park, we're also working on mobile ordering. So if you want something from Chopsticks or any number of other stands, you can pull out the mobile app, order your food, head up to a special line, pick it up, and head to the next ride while you eat. Sit down in the shade and enjoy whatever you'd like, but it cuts down your waiting in line. But also, to make that easier, we're introducing park-wide Wi-Fi, which you may be thinking to yourself, well, a lot of parks have Wi-Fi, why is that so special? Well, a lot of parks are not literally in a hole in the ground. So it is much more challenging even to get reception on your cell phone. So getting Wi-Fi down in a hole in the ground is that much more exciting. Believe me, we cannot wait. It's gonna be awesome. Hustler's also getting a redo. We completely removed this ride so we can redo it from the ground up and bring it back. So if you've never experienced Hustler, it's kind of a classic spinning 8-ball ride. You can sit inside the different 8 balls and spin until you're on the verge of getting sick, or maybe past the verge of getting sick, but either way, it's still a great ride. Fun fact about this ride though, when I actually interviewed for my job at Fiesta Texas, how many folks here know a very quiet acer by the name of Jeffrey Siebert? Anyone ever heard of him? Okay, a couple of you, one person knows him, that's great. When I went to interview, we did a park tour and I walked around with Jeffrey, and we ended right by this ride. He's like, well, what would you like to ride? So I was gonna spend some time with him and then go off and experience the park on my own. I was like, well, let's ride Hustler, it's right there. So this is the very first ride I ever rode at Fiesta Texas with Jeffrey, and I should have known better because he spun that thing like a madman, and I got out, and you can tell he was screaming, having a great time like a little kid, and I was like, do I want this job? Like, did I pass this test? But needless to say, it's all worked out for the best, but this ride will always have a very special place in my heart, or maybe my lower gut because of that experience. New shows this year. We have 5 brand new shows just for this summer alone, debuting at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, but over a dozen shows throughout our 12-month operation. Fiesta Texas started in 1992, and it was originally dedicated to being a show park. It was a joint venture between Gaylord and USAA, and the main draw were the shows. So we have theater venues that are second to none and that were designed to house full Broadway shows of that caliber with flying incense and orchestra pits and balcony seating and the most intense production you can imagine. So we really do have a unique venue for our show product. And so because of that, we have over 12 different shows any given year. Some of the staples like Majesty of Christmas, which features angels flying from the sides and live animals and a number of other cool elements that you just have to really see to experience. But there really is a show for everyone, and fantastic, fantastic entertainers that just really show how dedicated they are to our audience and how much they love what they do. There's tours throughout the year. So here we are in February. We have Joker coming up in June, Coca-Cola July 4th Fest, our water park opening. There really is a reason to visit all 12 months of the year at this point, so you have no excuse not to find a time to visit. And that just reminded me, you're lucky I remembered. It's the first time. Go ahead and open your envelopes. Let's see what's inside those. So, to make sure that you don't have an excuse, inside that envelope you have a free admission ticket to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, as well as a selection of flash passes. So all those flash passes you see when you come to the park, that's your way in, and then use those coupons to skip the line on all those rides and experience a great day in the park from your friends at Fiesta, Texas. It goes without saying, we love Ace, so we definitely want to see you visit at the park. And please let us know when you're visiting, because I want to hang out with you, Jeffrey wants to spend some time with you, so please, we really want to see you at the park this year. And also, after lunch, I'm going to be set up over here. I have a selection of 5 different capes. Everyone is going home with a superhero cape today. So there's a couple different ones, so grab a superhero cape and you can mix and match and swap with friends and make sure everyone gets a cool cape to go home with. So we'll make sure you're decked out with Six Flags Fiesta Texas swag before you leave. Are there any questions I can answer about Fiesta Texas for you? You guys are a really easy audience, almost too easy. I like it. I'll be back. All right, well then if you have no questions, I'm going to hand it back to Josh. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.